Tim and Joel calling it in the ring. You're fired. You're fired, Joel. There.
Why?
Because it's Christmas. Because it's Christmas, Joel. Obviously.
Dude, I'm going to let you in on the behind the scenes of yesterday's Fightful holiday stream.
Oh, okay.
I am in the backstage, just kind of hanging out, waiting for them to start. And as our friend Sean Ross Sapp is getting ready to start the show, he notices me in the corner. And before he goes live, he says, "Joel Pearl, you're fired." And I was like, what the fuck? Every time, everyone's just firing me. Why does nobody love me, Tim?
You just got that face that makes a man want to fire you, you know?
I don't know. I would love to know why I have that face that makes people want to fire me. Tell me. Explain to me. Why do I have that face?
I don't know, Joel. Anyway, it's just it's more a me thing than a you thing, you know? I just love firing people around Christmas.
Tell me about it. Well, I love it when y'all toss a thumbs up on this video. I love it when y'all leave a comment or join us in the chat. I see you. I feel you. I want to see more of you. And you can do that by subscribing to the channel and sharing this video and letting your friends know about Tim and Joel Pod. Because guess what? A little bit of us gets us closer to you and to your friends. And now Spotify apparently does podcast ratings. So you can go ahead, if you're listening in audio, and leave us a 5-star review. Get us a little bit closer to those friends of yours, because we'd love to share our wrestling with you. And our Discord channel is there. There's a link in the video description. It's free, and it's everybody's favorite destination for wrestling talk. Happy Christmas Kwanzaa.
The last of this is for the virus, right?
Yes, exactly. I feel like it is the virus. Yeah. 'Tis the season. Everything shuts down except for the wrestling. Tim, there's so much to talk about.
And the work.
Well, maybe for you. My work never ended. Oh, yes, it did. It ended. And then anyway, here I am doing this show instead. What do we want to talk about first? We've got our usual. We've got the Dynamite preview. We've got NXT from last night. We got Raw from Monday night. And then, of course, we're going to talk about the little thumbnail, the clickbaity stuff. What do you think? What are you thinking? You've watched everything, haven't you?
Yeah, we better save Raw for later though, because I watched that more. Weirdly.
Do you want to do the Dynamite preview first?
Yes. Yeah.
Let's really change shit around. Let's really
swap it all. Let's go backwards in time.
All right, I'm ready. Tonight, Holiday Bash for AEW.
Ooh, this is a Cody Rhodes night.
Yes, this is the night. No, actually, next week is the night. Next week is a very Cody Christmas. What?
Wait, so there's Holiday Bash and then there's oh my God. Okay.
Holiday Bash and then Christmas, whatever the hell. I don't know. I thought it was going to be this one, but
either way,
not on my rundown.
Otherwise known as Dynamite. Regular old Dynamite.
The best Dynamite you could ever ask for.
No, just the same. The regular one that happens every week with some stupid words associated with it.
Well, Holiday Bash is tonight, so get ready, get your bells on, because we're starting off with a Britt Baker, Tony Schiavone Christmas party. Totally different.
I thought he was uninvited.
Thanksgiving party.
He was uninvited.
I am looking
from all future events.
Apparently not. I'm seeing it here. I see Tony Schiavone right there. Oh, Cody versus Sammy is on Rampage.
God damn it. Whatever.
Whatever. Christmas Cody gets his title on Rampage. Got it. Real Britt Baker. There we go. She's gonna tell it like it is here on Christmas with Rebel and all the rest of them. I don't have anything to add about a Christmas party. She just did the Thanksgiving one, and then they did the Halloween one.
They'll be mean to Tony. He'll be submissive. Next feud will get set up, I guess. I don't know.
Tony in Greensboro, North. Like, what can we do there? Tony's been there. He's a WCW guy. Crockett guy. I don't know. They're not going to talk about that.
Is Greensboro in Connecticut? Is that what it is? Then I don't know.
North or South Carolina. We are Canadians.
Ooh, so. One of the Carolinas. Okay.
Well, it's Carolina. It's a big deal for Sting because it's his first time wrestling in Greensboro in like 24 something years.
Why is that important?
Because Sting teams up with Darby Allin and CM Punk to take on MJF and FTR in the main event, so that FTR can be taken down at the end of the night by presumably the Briscoe brothers for Ring of Honor.
Okay, cool. More people I don't know.
You'll get to know them. You'll get to know them boys.
And they better be good.
They will be. It's
Yeah.
the North Carolina.
They're another 6-man tag. Okay. Who's
Yep.
Britt Baker even feuding with right now?
Riho.
Really? Oh yeah, that hasn't happened yet. She hasn't had that match.
That match has not happened.
Okay.
I don't know. They're
I'm just all out of it. I'm just out of the loop. I've been paying attention to some stuff, but clearly not that stuff.
That's the one thing. Well, I think next week we'll talk about, stuff that we want to see different in AEW and WWE, kind of a holiday wish list. One of them for sure for me right now is AEW following through on lower card feuds, not just tossing shit on just for the sake of tossing shit on.
Exactly. Yeah. Like I feel like very into all of the main, like the upper echelon stuff. But yeah, the stuff at the bottom is getting lost in the shuffle in my brain. Too much stuff.
Yeah, I agree. And here's another one: Malachi Black, Griff Garrison. They're gonna have a one-on-one match. I assume
this one I remember mostly because of the shock value of like just super spitting in Julia Hart's eye.
Yes, spitting in Julia Hart's eye, and then the promo last week on Dynamite or on Rampage. Sorry, the shows all meld together now with Malachi Black spitting in a masked human's eyes, whose face we didn't see, and everyone's assuming it's Brody King. You and I talked about it this past week. I assume this goes to House of Black versus the Varsity Blondes.
Yeah, goth kids versus the cool kids. Got it.
is AEW becoming NXT, which is high school? Is this
all is high school? Everything is high school. Life is high school.
There you go. Never give up on your dreams, because your dreams follow you throughout your entire life, at least in wrestling. TBS tournament semifinals. Nyla Rose going to take on Ruby Soho.
We're going back to the stumpy brackets.
We're a week away, therefore we have to, or I guess we're 2 weeks away from the TBS debut. So we got to get there. We got to get to the finals. Yep. So here we are. What do you think? Nyla Rose, Ruby Soho. Who do you think wins this match?
Ruby Soho.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be Ruby Soho as well. I don't want to see, I like Nyla Rose. I think she's gotten a lot better, but I think it's time for Ruby to go forward in this and not have just Nyla go to the final just to get beaten or, win this.
Yeah. They're not taking this in the route that I had hoped for, but I expect Ruby to go over.
Yep. And then Orange Cassidy takes on Adam Cole Bebe. And I assume we're going to have a little bit of another debut. Okay, here's the problem. In this entire show, I don't think you want to debut 3 big rumored acquisitions. I don't think you want to bring out the Briscoes. I don't think you want to bring out Brody King and Kyle O'Reilly. So what are we thinking? Do the Briscoes not show up, or do they show up because this is the main event? Presumably this 6-man has to be the main event.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Out of everything announced.
Or it opens the show, it's hard to tell with AEW.
I mean, that's fair, but I can't think of anything. The only other match that has any stakes in it is the TBS tournament semi, and is that big enough to main event an episode of Dynamite?
I don't know. I feel like some of the pacing is a bit all over the place lately, so maybe could be there.
Orange Cassidy and Adam Cole could be the main event, but then that has to be the one that then Kyle O'Reilly has to debut there. And then the FTR Briscoes thing happens down the line, not this week, not this month.
Yeah, it feels weird to me to debut people this month at all. But I guess, got to do something.
I guess he just kind of had to figure out who's most important or whose story is the longest arc to get to the next big match for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Like who needs the time to build.
And that's the case. I mean, Kyle doesn't need a lot of time.
No, so maybe the Briscoes tonight. Kyle, I could see taking a little bit of a breather for another couple of weeks.
I think the big question also is, if the Briscoes show up, when is the match? When is the FTR Briscoes match? Is it for the Ring of Honor and AAA titles? That's it. Do you do that on an AEW show? Does that make sense? Or do you have it just a tag match, just a straight up tag match? That's why I wonder where the Briscoes feud steps in and where it works and where your cats are at all hours of the day.
Yeah, it's screaming for food.
Good. It is food time. I'm also screaming for food. But that's my feeling. I mean, you can't debut everyone, but I feel like tonight would make sense to debut Brody King.
Yes. Yeah. That out of everyone, I think is the easiest one because you need to give Malachi Black something. Because
Yeah.
I don't know, he's kind of drifting in the wind, fighting with the cool kids for some reason. So
I agree. We're going to find out tonight. Is there anything else on this show that's been announced? I don't see it. Therefore, it hasn't happened.
that's enough of a show. Like that sounds like a good show. Looking
It
forward
does.
to that. And
Yeah.
it's not Cody night because that's apparently Rampage, which is actually, it's the right place to put that, I think. So
They're also going to do a special video on the Owen Hart Cup tournament, including stars of multiple generations speaking about Owen's legacy and footage from Owen wrestling in New Japan, along with home movies from Dr. Martha Hart. So that sounds actually pretty nice. That'll take up a little bit of time.
is Rampage staying on TNT? Is that the thing?
Rampage stays on TNT.
So now, okay, so for all future reference, I will never get confused again. The TNT title will always be defended on Rampage.
I mean, I'm not going to speak to that, but let's assume
Than,
TNT versus TBS
other than
titles,
maybe pay-per-view, but yes,
yeah, exactly. So I see a lot about do the Battle of the Belts, do a pre-show for FTR and the Briscoes. Yeah, you could. The problem with Battle of the Belts is that it's an hour show, and
I hate that. What?
I see it as a taster. I don't see it as a big event the same way some people are expecting it to be. I see it as a quarterly taster.
If you're going to defend all of your title belts, you should probably make it a big event. But
well, they called it Battle of the Belts. They didn't say all belts are going to be defended.
Oh my god!
And I think TK even said not all the belts are going to be defended.
Why name it that? Just name it something better.
Honestly, if it's a B tier show, why wouldn't you just make the TNT title match, whatever it is, make that the main event or a tag team title match?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are going to put a lot of stake into a show that might not have a ton of sizzle. I think it's going to be very much like hey, come and check us out. We're the new guys in town, but they're not going to necessarily run with a main event that has the world title on the line.
What is this show for again? What?
It's a TBS special. It's kind of like old school. Like, this is a pretty good analogy. It's basically Saturday night's main event, but also so is Rampage. Yeah, for all intents and purposes, Rampage is Friday night's main event. Yeah, and they named it Battle of the Belts because Cody couldn't get Clash of the Champions, which is exactly like Mod Mike was saying. I'm seeing in the chat someone saying, "Did you read about WWE having a COVID outbreak per PW Insider?" That's not actually the case. If you read the article, there's concern as they go into the holiday season of who's going to be hanging out with whom and what effect that's going to have on shows coming back from the holidays. So
I haven't seen Casey and Caden in
well, Casey and Caden have been doing some stuff. They weren't on TV last night. We're going to talk about NXT in a second. But there's no COVID outbreak per se in WWE or AEW right now. There's just a general
They're just consensus. Assuming there will be.
There's just a consensus that yes, with the holiday season, people are going to spend it around a lot of people and potentially they might see an outbreak. So that's where we're going with that. Let's talk about NXT because God knows they never had a bunch of outbreaks.
Never, not once. COVID? What are you talking about? They have been a well-run, well-oiled ship.
Yeah, and by the way, I see this. People have tested positive. People test positive literally every day with WWE when it comes to COVID. There's a reason why that Mysterio's and Street Profits match was put off for 2 weeks. So we open the show in NXT with Ciampa. Our champion Ciampa comes out, and he's like, "Hey, I'm the guy. I'm the man. Nobody's better than me." Rattles off a whole bunch of champions.
He's the Ciampa Chomp.
He is the Ciampa Champ. The Ciampa
Chomp. You got to pronounce it wrong. It works better.
That's the Ciampa. Anyway, and then out comes Braun Breaker, and he's like, "Hey, Braun, you don't have to challenge me. I challenge you. New Year's Evil.
Shut up.
I'm gonna break you, and I'm gonna put you down for the 3." What did you think? What do you think of this promo? What
actually, I liked it. I thought Ciampa did a damn good job. I thought it was good. Hype me up. Nothing special, like nothing we haven't seen before. But I'm excited for the rematch. It's a good match. Good pair of guys.
I think they're gonna have a good match. They have good chemistry. They've shown us before. I think this is now Breaker's time to show that he is not just going to be led around by Tommaso Ciampa. He's going to actually be offensive in the match. He showed that in War Games. If there's a story here, then the story is very much that Braun Breaker has learned a lot since his last match with Tommaso Ciampa.
Yep.
Excited for that. Not so much excited for Grayson Waller. Boy,
why?
Howdy.
That was why, he's a douche.
The phenomenal Grayson Waller.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I mean, it was better. The stuff on the actual program was better than the Twitter promo.
When I was told, "Oh, you got to see this Twitter promo. It's the best," and I sent it to you, and we both agreed it was absolute dog shites.
It's just some bro rambling into a phone. Like, it's believable. I'll give you that. I've seen douchebags like that, but it wasn't very engaging.
It was not a good promo. And you know what? Here's the thing: the Becky promo that we didn't get to talk about, but we saw it again on Raw. That Becky promo was rightfully, it was panned. But here's the difference: it was also produced, therefore they kept having to show it. They showed that promo. They didn't show any of that Grayson Waller promo during Raw. They didn't show, like, they tried their best not to show it. They just brought it up during AJ's match. They were like, "Oh, and AJ's going to NXT," and everyone's like, "Huh? Why?"
Oh, during Raw, got it. Yeah.
Nobody saw that Grayson Waller promo. They dropped it at like Sunday at like 6 p.m. when nobody's on socials.
I mean, I don't know. I don't see any of them because I resent the fact that I don't want to follow their socials at all. I don't care. So, like, I don't know, you can share it on the show, which is like, I feel like that's the right way to watch it. You watch it on the show, and if it's actually worth a damn, they'll play it on the show, because God knows at least 30% of every WWE program is a recap anyway. So, like, if it's important enough, I'll catch it eventually. Like, I don't need to see that the moment it drops on Twitter, like, especially not that. Like, I'm not gonna follow Grayson Waller in case I have to be put through that every week.
I agree. And on top of it, it's just Waller. We'll get to the promo with AJ in a sec, but like that Sunday promo was just not good. Like, it just,
yeah, I mean, it's Twitter promos. Like I said, it's.
But we've seen good Twitter promos. We've seen good ones.
Like Duke Hudson's all right.
I don't know why somebody didn't come back to him and say, "Hey, do it again, and here are your actual bullet points. Hit them, or we can't use it."
It just needed to be tightened up. That's all it was, right? Like, it was rambling, and they needed to edit it. Like, not actually edit it, but like trim the content so that it's not long and pointless.
I also think that it looked like he recorded it in a hurricane.
Yeah, it was not nice.
Wasn't good. that was another thing. I was like, maybe go inside and do it. It just felt very, very forced. What did you think, speaking of forced, of Gonzalez and Kai in a street fight? Did you enjoy the match? Was it heavy enough for you? What do you think?
Yeah, I liked it. A lot of trash can use.
Hey, man, it makes a lot of noise.
Yeah, it does. It goes boom. I like them starting outside. I didn't mind that the match hasn't officially started. Could have been done without being beaten over the head with that for, like, many minutes, where they're just like, "Oh, the match hasn't started yet. The match hasn't started yet. The match hasn't started yet. The match hasn't started." It's just, shut up. I get it. Doesn't matter. Like, just let me watch them wail on each other.
And also, what's the point of doing that when your match is it's already no disqualification. It's already a street fight. What's the big deal? Like, why
it's also
would we have
like
to be
a grudge
reminded?
match. It's not about the title. Like, it doesn't matter whether or not it starts. It doesn't matter who wins. Like,
and like, do they think that telling us that it hasn't started yet means that smart fans or like smarky fans are going to be like, well, then this match is going to end in a no finish because they haven't started the match yet? But they go to the ring. And
they start the match in picture. So it's like, what the?
It was very strange. I don't know what they were thinking it was. Like, all street.
I agree. I super agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. Like,
it was, again, I enjoyed the match for what it was. It just give them a bunch of toys and they had a lot of fun. And clearly Raquel and Dakota know how to work together. So that's a huge plus. And at the end of the day, they used all the toys and they got to the end, which was Gonzalez getting the win. I do want to see Dakota Kai do something with it. I want to see them do something with Dakota Kai, but I think she's a little lost in the shuffle after she wasn't brought up to main.
It's weird she's not getting pushed. Like, they just need women on the main roster, and they need to actually give it crap about them instead of ignoring them and doing these weird things.
I think she's in purgatory right now because their focus are on the new women that they've brought up to SmackDown. And because Vince and co aren't good at building multiple people simultaneously, she got stuck. They said Dakota go back to NXT,
more than one. Like, it's silly. Like,
well, again, they're trying to build Well, they're trying with
You're trying to build
again.
Tony, and Shotzi exists.
And Shotzi exists. Well, that's the thing, and I think that there's a certain argument to be made that someone's advocated, like, don't bring Dakota up. She's just going to be like Shotzi right now.
And then you'll
And then what are they going to? They'll put her and Shotzi in a tag team, and then what? They'll release one of them.
Exactly. Yeah.
Hey, that's the problem. It just doesn't compute very well. So
either way, remember how good Hit Row was? Continue.
Sorry, love the team, hated that one guy in the crowd at CWC. So Raquel Gonzalez comes after the match, after the commercial, she comes back and she's like, hey, I want another match for the NXT women's title. And then Cora Jade is just like, hey, I also want that match, and I don't care what I got to do to get there. Mandy Rose comes out, and she's doing the in a bikini in a greenlit pool, and she says it's a triple threat match at New Year's Evil. What are your thoughts?
It was kind of funny. Like, I'm not surprised. I'm fine with that. I don't want to see Mandy Rose and Raquel again. I'm fine with the triple threat. I think that makes sense. It was kind of weird because she was just in that pool being like, yeah, I'll take on you, uggos.
That's true. I just like how she hands down and she's like, and my title. And I'm like, oh, that thing can oxidize in a pool.
Yeah.
That thing will rust real quick.
Yeah. I mean, I was fine with it. I thought it was a clever little way it was novel to me.
Yeah. I mean, listen, in WWE land, the triple threat trope means that they are trying to have someone not take the pinfall. So I'm going to guess that Raquel gets pinned by Mandy Rose. Also in WWE land, triple threat rules means there's no disqualification. So you've got JC Jane and Gigi Dolan who can get involved and attack anyone and everyone just to get Mandy Rose her title win back. Easy enough. That's just how I read it. We'll see what happens the next couple of weeks. Don't turn your LED lights green in a pool. It'll make your pool look unclean.
Look dirty.
I thought it was like, ooh, fresh chlorine. That's a great look.
Algaed.
They went to me and Harlan speaking in a backstage promo where apparently Harlan has regret all over his face and egg because he can't speak. Does. Exactly. He was.
Yeah, they won't let him speak. It's funny. It's weird that they know. It's weird that they know to do that with him, but not with Von Wagner.
They're getting there, I hope. And yeah, so Brian Kendrick, we'll just fast forward. I love that Brian Kendrick got a promo afterwards where he takes off his cervical collar and he says, I am now an active competitor again, and I'm going to kick your ass. And I'm like, Harlan's going to kill you, and that's fine. But at least I'm going to see Brian Kendrick on my screen again having a match.
Yeah.
All about that. The Grayson Waller thing, I will say this, the Persia Parada and Indy Hartwell segment with Grayson, I thought that was good.
That was excellent. Loved it.
I enjoyed it. Yeah. He's saying, like, I kicked your papa out of NXT, and Hartwell just like losing her gut. I loved it. It's very fun. And saying, like, we Australians, we all have to stick together. It's like, do we?
No, not really. No mate chip here.
Yeah. Creed Brothers versus Grizzled Young Veterans.
Sure. This happened. I was like, why are these two fighting? I can't remember if there's a reason. I'm like,
okay, so first of all, what really throws me off, Jacket Time comes out, they set up a table a la what the New Day used to do with their announce table, and others have done it, but New Day most recently. It's cute, whatever, but they drew so much attention to it that I couldn't watch the match.
It took you completely out of the match, and then the match didn't matter because all three teams started fighting. Yeah. And this is just because of now I remember. It's because of the super secret operation or whatever.
Honestly, it's just do the Dusty Cup. Just announce the Dusty Cup is happening. You brought all your tag teams out there.
No more tournaments. No more.
But you love the Dusty Cup.
No,
it's your favorite cup of the year.
It's pointless. They're all so pointless.
It's not that. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Actually, the Dusty Cup can be a lot of fun if it's done properly. That's the
if they cared at all about tag team wrestling, it could go really well, but they don't, so it won't.
Well, either way, double disqualification because everyone got in the ring and did the thing, and that was a schmoz.
Sure,
why not? Why is Zoe Stark still on TV?
I'm fine with it. Again,
yeah,
it's great.
Very different viewpoints for that. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's fine. I enjoyed it. I like Zoe Stark.
Even when
she's still friends with Io Shirai, reminding you that she exists, and it looks like they're keeping them as a tag team for the near future.
But Io doesn't like Zoe.
Io doesn't like anyone. That's Io's entire identity now.
But does Io now have a soft spot for Zoe? Is that what's going on?
Yes. Yeah. She's broken through her hard exterior.
Good stuff. Elektra Lopez showing up, setting up the match between Io and Elektra. I like that. That's a good way to do it. Just a little short argument. Get into it. Yep. Trick and Dexter. Trick Williams. First of all, the match was fine. It felt a little longer than it should have been, but also the match was only 5 minutes long, so I can't tell you that.
Yeah, they had the promo. I think that's partially because they had the promo beforehand with Mello in the Santa hat, which I didn't. I was like, okay.
Yeah, it was them in the back, Mello, and being like, "Oh, Trick's not scared of anything. It's good promo." And then Dexter.
Yeah, it was fine. It just there was a Santa hat, and I was confused. It's like, why is there a Santa hat? There's no explanation.
Tim's the season. Anyway, I liked the match, but it just felt a little long. It's a good way to start getting Trick matches.
Yes.
That's all. And now they're going to do Strong and Hayes, and they're going to try and combine the Cruiserweight and North American titles. That's a feeling that I have.
They should. Because, again, all that needed to happen was you should have beaten Roderick Strong and then thrown the title in the trash or done the inclusive weight hilarity. But you didn't do either of those things. So
I had plans, Tim.
No. You screwed up. Just admit it.
I did
drop the ball.
I didn't win the inclusive weight championship.
What kind of cult leader are you? Can't even win a single match. One.
Did you see the promo for the Orlando schools and kids and stuff?
I skipped it. I don't care.
So at one point, Joe Gacy wearing his Joe Gacy t-shirt that I've photoshopped since and made a Joel Gacy version. I still need to release it. Anyway, that shirt, he's wearing that shirt and he's like palling around with everyone on the NXT roster. And I'm like, I get that you like don't do the kayfabe thing as much, but I'm like, there's something weird about doing this with NXT staff. It's just strange to me. Anyway, yeah, so we have this whole setup for Hayes and Roddy, and I'm looking forward to it. I think they're gonna have a great match.
That'll be a great match.
I wish they weren't getting rid of the Cruiserweight Championship, but also I think it's just time.
They're not. There's no point in having it because they got rid of all the cruiserweights. So
yeah, they made them cruiserweight, brother. Grayson Waller attacks Dexter Loomis with a chair after the match. Fine with me.
They got after everyone. Yep, makes sense.
Exactly.
I mean, he's a logical one after Johnny. So
exactly. So it's just a real POS, that guy.
Yeah.
And then Grayson Waller continues his promo, and out comes AJ Styles. So again, really cool to see AJ Styles make his debut in NXT. I thought it was neat.
Yeah.
Like 10 years later. Yeah. But Waller kept going back to the Omos thing.
Yeah, it seemed like the focus was more telling that story than anything else, because the other takeaway was just AJ Styles has mom hair. Like, that's it. That's the entire beat, and it's like, I don't know that this is enough to. But then they're telling the Omos story. I guess they just want to give you a little bit more after Monday.
I guess it felt like all they wanted to do here, like you said, was get over the mom hair, which they've done a billion times, and the Omos story. I expected a little more from Waller. I just wanted him to say something that wasn't him repeating the same BS over and over again.
I mean, they didn't give him anything to say. So,
I mean, they set this match, not this match, but they set this feud up as, my hair is better than yours, and I'm going to call myself phenomenal because of that.
AJ Styles going bald. You heard it here first.
Is
hair versus hair match? No, they're never going to get.
Imagine?
I don't even know if they're going to get to a match. I honestly am not. I would not put 100% down that like they're going to end up in a fight at all ever. This may never go anywhere, and they'll just never reference it again.
Yeah, I mean, Waller leaves the ring, and he says, "After Omos gets to you first, I got next."
And that's an eternity away now. So I just don't.
Well. Is it though? Because they're doing Omos
after Saturday, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're doing Omos and AJ on Monday.
Yeah.
Well, they're promoting it that way.
They are promoting it that way. I wouldn't be surprised if that's a screwy finish.
Let's do another hair versus hair match. Drew gets it. Bivens with Diamond Mine. They did the going back to the Hayes and Roddy thing. I do just the very end of it was great. Merry Christmas, ho. Ho, ho. Malcolm Bivens gets away with murder on that show. I swear to God.
He's so good. I like him.
They had Matt Riddle. They killed Matt Riddle. They brought back Matt Riddle afterwards.
It was all a dream, but it wasn't.
Very strange. These segments sure are there.
I think they're done now.
So now the big question is: Riddle actually going to be on NXT TV next week, like he said in the dream before he was hit by a car, or is he not? Like is this how they're going to get out of putting Riddle on TV or not?
I don't know. I think that's up to COVID.
I don't think Riddle.
We'll see what next week brings. It's everything's in question right now. So
Riddle's gonna get all cheaped up and go back to Florida to hang out with his bros.
What the hell does cheaped up mean?
Exactly what you think. Idris Enofe gets a win over at Van Wagner, and I loved this.
Loved that. Thank God.
I didn't want to see Idris take another pin, and because they're clearly building something out of him. They clearly like him, and clearly the fans react to him. Van Wagner can lose. That's fine. The story right now isn't Von Wagner dominating. It's Von Wagner finding his dominance outside the ring to bring it inside the ring and win matches. Fine by me. When is Robert Stone going to start talking for him instead?
I don't know. Soon, I hope. And hopefully he's also a styling consultant for him. So
yes, exactly.
Because right now he looks like he just grabbed some things out of the dumpster and put them on.
He needs them. He needs new pants so bad.
He needs new pants, and he's got that dumpster vest he walks out with.
The vest is the best looking part.
You've had yeah, but it's garbage on garbage. Looks like a wasteland warrior without anything cool.
That's right. Mackenzie Mitchell, by the way, congratulations to Mackenzie. She did her first interview last night with MSK, or not with MSK, with Imperium. That did not end with somebody getting involved and interfering in the segment.
Nope, she just didn't understand a word of it.
I love that she says that. It's like, I don't speak your languages. And they're just like
why don't you understand this? Every single week we do this.
Oh, very excited. Elektra Lopez and Io Shirai happens again. I think Elektra Lopez needs some work.
Yep.
Match was fine. Io can always make her opponents look good, which I appreciated. And just, simple, straight up match. Io wins. But the big news here was what's his face? Zion Quinn coming out with his mistletoe.
That's cool.
You want to talk about mistletoe?
Yeah. Mistletoe? No, I didn't really pay attention. Not gonna lie.
He just wants to make out with women. That's all. Zion Quinn is ladies man.
Oh, yeah. I mean, doesn't have to try that hard. She's already into it. They just made that very clear.
She is ready to go.
Yeah, on TV exclusively.
Just there. Pete Dunne, Tony G in the main event. I really liked this match.
Mm-hmm.
I thought both men did really good work. I think both men carried their weight equally, which is something you don't see a lot of when it comes to the black and gold, as they're calling it, versus 2.0 stars. So really appreciate
it. Tony D'Angelo's got the stuff, which is good to see. So
just a good solid match. I think that D'Angelo took the bitter end really well too. He knows how to flip and get himself into that position really well, which I appreciated. And it's a good 15-minute main event, not even. And then a post match.
They do
the
crowbar action. Love that.
Yeah, shout out to WCW star Crowbar. It's a little thing. I liked it. I did like that, the beatdown, and I like that Tony D gets his heat back and he says, "I'm the guy."
He needed to do that. Yeah,
it did everything right. Overall, NXT largely inoffensive.
Yeah, it was fine. It's good.
I didn't love it, but at the same time, I just come off of the holiday stream, so I was like rushing to make dinner. So
I just feel zonked the past couple of weeks watching this stuff. Like, it's all good. Like, everyone's doing good, but I haven't felt like really impressed by anything lately. I don't know, just emotionally numb to it.
Oh, we talk about it too. It's the holiday season. This is a lot of just pressing pause, or at least slowing things down to get to the new year. WWE has to start working on some stuff with Day 1 pay-per-view coming up.
Woo, Day 1.
Speaking of which, do you want to talk about Raw?
Yeah, let's talk about Raw.
Maybe while we do that, y'all can hit the thumbs up on this video. Maybe hit that subscribe button. Leave us a comment. If you're watching us on YouTube after the fact, leave us a comment. that gets us a little bit closer to your friends' ears, and I appreciate that. Our Discord is open widely for y'all. There's a link in the video description. Come and hang out sometime. Day one is January 1st. But first, we have to get through these next 2 episodes of Raw. That's right.
Yeah. Oh man, the way they kept advertising it sounded like day one was more imminent, but it's not.
It's 2 weeks away.
Yeah, exactly. But they're like 1 week after Saturday, and I was like, oh, so 2 weeks. Like,
I mean, yeah, but they only have one more episode of Raw this week, or they have next week's Raw to do it. That's the go home.
Yeah, they're just gonna repeat the stuff they just did anyway.
I say that we're gonna get through Raw, and I will say this about day one: I appreciate that the card for Raw next week actually kind of moves some stuff along. There are a bunch of rematches, yes, but like there are some fresh matches that they announced, and I appreciate that they didn't just do a Sunday dump at 5 p.m. being like, this is what's happening on Raw, or Monday having nothing going on. Do you have anything to add there?
No, it's fine. Whatever.
Well, right,
rematches.
Let's go. What happened? Lashley comes out with MVP and
looking cool as hell.
Looks great. I can't remember what happened in this promo.
MVP makes reference to a bunch of other sports and be like, it's like if this were to happen.
Oh, he said the Boston Marathon or a big MMA fight.
Yeah, Francis Ngannou going 5 rounds with Francis Ngannou and then knocking him out. So I don't know if he means like knock him out like near the end of the 5th round, or like after the fight you knock him out for no reason. I don't know. Anyway, I don't think MVP watches MMA.
Like 10,000 spoons when all you need is a knife.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Yes, that's what it is. And then Big E comes out and he does a thing, and then afterwards you've got KO and Seth. They come out and they take out Lashley. Right? Is that what we did? And then they're happy.
Yeah. And Big E takes issue because honor, I guess.
Right. Yeah. Can they coexist? Right.
Oh yeah. And then we lead to that. Can they?
And
they're continuing their very self-aware memeing on it. So
as they should. Maybe never. I think we're over it. Sarah Sharper's interviewing Bianca Belair before the match. Belair is ready to just beat the shit out of Doudrop.
Yeah, and they're like, this is the end. And I was like, oh yeah, the non-pay-per-view blow-off match for the women. Yes, of course.
Thinking about it now, I'm happy they didn't put it on day one. I don't think they had much more they could do.
No,
this was just
because this was over a while ago. But again, this was never anything. Like RIP Doudrop. I don't know what they're gonna do with you. Oh wait, no, they fired Nia Jax, so they'll just use her as Nia Jax now.
Yeah, exactly. And she'll be the one that's actually safe in the ring when she works with the smaller women.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed the match. I thought it was very good. And I said to myself, if this leads to that big KOD spot that we saw in the match, that was what we were all building to. If we didn't see it in the match this past Monday, then we probably would have seen another match between these two.
Yeah. Yeah, which we did. It's over. It actually is. Normally when they're like, people are calling this when they explicitly stress it being the culmination of something, they usually do like leave it at that point. WWE does. So.
Yeah, and quite frankly, if this is something they can go back to, at least they know there is chemistry there.
Yeah, they do.
You can have
put on good matches.
You can have Bianca or even Doudrop win the women's championship and have a feud for that championship. I would love to see, let's say, Doudrop win Money in the Bank, and then Bianca chase the championship that Doudrop inevitably wins for having won Money in the Bank.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Like, because I would like to see them down the road have an actual feud instead of this kind of little bit of a testing of the waters they did this time. So
for sure,
but they'll need and in rare form where I'm like, normally you are trying to stress you don't need a championship to tell a story with the women's wrestling. Like, no, in this case, like they would be better served having a title down the road if they want to revisit this. So
right. Yeah, you can't just go back to it with nothing else.
No.
In this case, unless there's some sort of storyline that comes in between them and they intersect, and then you can actually draw attention to it. Otherwise, no, this is just two women who happen to be on the same roster wanting to be on top of their game.
Yep,
that's all it was.
And they can slowly develop who Doudrop is over the next little while. Hopefully.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of which, Austin Theory is another one that they're trying to build, figure out whatever it is. Match with Finn Balor, fine, good, whatever.
Yeah, they're both. Yeah.
Balor needed the win.
Yes, my God. Thank God he got it.
Yeah, very happy to see that. Listen, is it great where Finn Balor is right now? No, it's not ideal for some, but at the same time, if he's going to be on my TV every week, at least have him win a match or 3.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah,
the
he's got to
Cesaro
keep.
effect.
I think he's just got to keep winning some now, just to rebuild what they've done as of
Yep.
late.
I say it's the Cesaro effect. It's very much, he's a great wrestler. He's competent on the microphone. He's very likable by people. I don't think they see him as a champion again, which is very frustrating because
Yeah.
when they brought him in 2016 to the main roster, they said otherwise. They
Yeah, I
made
don't
him a
know what it
champion.
is. I really don't know what. Yeah, he's been a champ. It's just,
The problem is he was a champion for one night because he got injured.
yeah.
And
And
Vince loves
yeah.
to do the whole, I don't trust it. He gets that in his head and that's it. We'll see. We'll see.
And they wonder why people hide things from medical. But anyway.
Right. That's a whole other can of worms to open up. Either way, so Balor gets the win, and Theory is pissed off. He doesn't know if he can go see Vince after this. We'll talk about the thumbnail in a second when we talk about that promo with Vince and Theory. Let's move on instead. We talked about Omos and Styles. They have officially broken up. They started planting the seeds for weeks, and it looks like they went to a little quicker than planned, Tim.
Yeah, I'm fine because I don't need the tease anymore because it wasn't going anywhere. Like they just kept doing the same stuff they always do for this.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't care about their relationship anyway. It's dumb. Like it's always been dumb. I'm glad that I won't have to hear the words own personal colossus for much longer, which has been like just a string of words that sound so dumb to me and are just irritating. Like I'm glad that's gone or will be gone. I'm sure they'll say it a couple more times, but
yeah. And then Mod Dan's asking, are they doing AJ and Omos at day one? They have it currently announced that AJ and Omos have a match this coming Monday on Raw, which we'll see if it happens. Again, you and I have talked about this before. It's no longer about the pay-per-views when it comes to like matches like this. It's very much about putting it on Raw, popping a rating, and getting people to tune in weekly. It's fine by me.
What's that match even going to be, though?
Omos beats the shit out of AJ, but AJ bests him with a phenomenal. Well, no, you could at least the story you can tell. AJ, the problem is they've kept Omos strong and he hasn't lost. So Omos losing a match would have been cool because you could have had AJ like be the veteran who takes him down with the phenomenal forearm out of nowhere, whatever it is. But they're not going to do that. Omos is probably just going to win and maybe even motor through AJ. Or
I think
Waller shows up and costs AJ the match. And then Omos squashes Waller, and Waller's like, I don't care. AJ lost.
It could be that. That's very possible. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think they're just so on into Omos. Like, again, it's height. I don't like they just love like tall people to a weird degree. Like, even when they're not good on the mic or in the ring. Like,
yeah.
Like, and Omos is funny as hell. Like that face he made, like instant meme quality stuff. But like, that doesn't make like a main like top of the card guy. But Vince seems to think it does, and that's where Omos is going. I swear to God.
We'll see how he fares in singles competition because he hasn't had a lot of that yet. Here's the other side of it, though. He doesn't need to be super hardcore worker to get over as a singles competitor. They're expecting him to get over on his size, and he's done that.
Yeah. And again, like they don't realize they're not ready. The Great Khali was champion and like a prominent part of the top of the card for a while.
Yes.
Same thing is going to happen here. They do not care about how they do in the ring. If you are like an abnormal, like it's boring. I hate those matches so much.
It's the circus.
Yep, exactly. And
is what it is.
The anomaly.
Yeah, exactly. I wonder now with the Rumble on the way, does this actually give a serious credence to Omos winning the Rumble?
It's a possibility. I would not take that off the table. Like, I can't stress enough how much Vince just really likes tall men. Like, it does more for him than like seemingly anything else. Like,
yeah. I guess again, we'll find out as the story kind of unfolds. I'm interested in seeing how they handle Omos as a singles wrestler. I think they very much just have him swat flies out of midair. They'll give him every small guy.
That's what it'll be.
He'll be going up against Tozawa and beating Tozawa because Tozawa will look great flying through the air for him, and all he has to do is swat him down.
Yep.
It's fine by me. Let's move forward. We did the Miz TV thing. It's all in
Yeah,
my
that was a
notes.
long. There were 2 segments with the Miz. Miz comes out, does Miz TV, which was the AJ Almost thing, which
Yeah,
awkwardly transitioned into the Mysterios, which they self-referenced as being an awkward transition because it was, and it was just like, okay.
And Mysterios won too. Another win for the Mysterios. So I think they have the match against Street Profit next week. I guess we're going to see potentially the Mysterios versus whoever the Raw Tag Team. RK Bro, that's right. All right. I mean, I can deal with it. It might be a fun match.
Yeah, that might be what leads to the again split of another tag team. Rey Mysterio, Dom Mysterio at WrestleMania.
I'm okay with Rey and Dom having a match at WrestleMania.
Me too. I mean, part of me doesn't want it, but I think I'm okay with it.
And also, I don't know if that's going to lead to the split. I think it's gonna lead towards it, but I don't think it's going to be the breaking point.
No, it won't be. That won't be it. But it's going to start to because they need to transition out. They need to get screen time to start something and then transition out of it, which is what I think is going to happen.
I think there's a room for the Royal Rumble beginning that split.
RK Bro definitely makes it to WrestleMania. I don't think we see them split yet. I think that they're probably moving a lot of merch, and kids definitely love them. So
I think you're right, and that's somewhat frustrating for some of us who have been talking about it for so long, and expecting it for WrestleMania, doing Riddle versus Orton. But
I don't think that's happening. I think they're going to have a match at WrestleMania, but it will be RK Bro together.
Yeah, I agree.
And they're comfortable as long as Randy Orton has a title. I think they're comfortable just parking him wherever for a while.
Yeah, and it's entertaining. They're both clearly invested in the story. They're both clearly invested in working together. So there's room, and I think this is one of those teams where when they split, it'll be an amicable split. It won't be we're going to split and feud with each other type of thing.
Yeah, I think because it'll end up with Randy going for, I think when they do split, it'll be Randy going for the title again, like the main title, one of them.
I wonder. But I mean, Riddle's eventually going to want to go for a championship too.
That could be it. Maybe that's what causes it, which is enough reason for a rift.
They're both wanting to go for heavyweight title. No questions asked. So I guess we're going to find out, again, as it rolls through. But I think the conversation of RK Bro splitting has kind of changed again because you're splitting so many other teams right now.
I think they make it all the way to WrestleMania as tag champs.
Yeah. I could see it. Yeah. I could. Speaking of Randy Orton, took on Chad Gable, beat him in 3 minutes. I do like that now we're going to see Otis and Orton next. That's fine by me. It was again quick win, worked for me, but I just want to see Otis have some fun, get in the ring. And you know what I want to see? I want to see RK Otis.
As in Otis just getting an RKO because I don't think he's going to be giving one.
Well, I mean, listen, Otis doesn't have a neck, so I don't know what they're going to use for that. I was going to get it. Maybe that's going to be the storyline of the match. I think that
he doesn't know what to grab.
He's like, I love it. No, I want to see Randy Orton and Otis become a tag team called RK Otis.
That would be also fine. That's fine right. With that.
It'll be a fun match. I hope they give it a little bit of time because they can go. Both of those guys have the background. It'll be a lot of fun. Lashley, more Lashley stuff. Let's just move on with matches. Damian Priest and Dolph Ziggler. It became a championship contenders match. It wasn't for the US title for whatever reason. Sure. Ziggler won via countout. Sure. I don't have anything to add to you.
Okay. Ziggler celebrates his win.
Woo.
Yeah, woo. Wait, why did this? Anyway, whatever. Damian Priest didn't go ape shit, I guess, which is a win.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see what happens again. I think they'll run the match again. Is it next week? Week after that? Day one kickoff? Who knows?
It does seem very day one kickoff.
24/7 championship. I'm just going to put it out there so it's on the record. I think Reggie's going to roll up Dana Brooke and take the title.
Yeah.
It's what we're leading to. Just a big turnabout. Just there we go. Done. It's on the record now. You know. Let's talk about Edge. Let's talk about Cutting Edge with Maurice. So last week, you and I sat here talking about Heyman and Roman and Lesnar not being a swerve. And one thing I meant to say, and I didn't talk about it on the show, is that you have Miz, Maurice, and Edge in the exact same story of Maurice, you know, whose side is she on? Not whose side, but is she really upset with Miz?
The Miz, yeah.
Yeah. Well, clearly we know the answer is
they didn't drag it out. I mean, first off, let's talk about the fans booing the ever-loving hell out of what felt like a pretty well-delivered, sincere-sounding promo by Maurice. And it's like, I can't tell if that's the fans just hate women or like they knew what she was up to, which is like, I don't know. She was delivering it very well.
I think it's more that they knew what she was up to.
Yeah, 100%. But it was just like so shitty sounding because, like, to me, who like Maurice hasn't been on TV that like for all that long lately. Like, I don't know. It just felt really weird that they were so fervently. And I don't know. Maybe that was just them piping in boos.
Could be.
Because honestly, looking at the crowd all through the night, most of them just looked like very calm and weren't really reacting either way. So
my general feeling now, going back to the Heyman stuff, is that the Heyman stuff is a swerve for day one.
You think so?
I think so now. Because if they had the same story going on Raw and SmackDown, but in two different ways. And now it's going to be, now that we know what's going on with Miz, Maurice, and Edge, that Maurice and Miz are very clearly back together, it's going to be a swerve for Heyman and Roman.
So Heyman and Roman have concocted this elaborate plan to...
Okay. Elaborate is a very, it's not the word I would use, but yes, I understand what you're saying.
Fair.
There's really nothing else to that. But they, you know, Maurice and Miz kissed and they left and blah, blah, blah. And quote, everybody saw it coming.
Yeah.
Sure. There's nothing else I can add to that one. Zelina Vega and Rhea Ripley, can't add much to that. Ripley beat the shit out of her real quick. That's Vega's first loss.
Yeah, the whole point of that was
the Queen of the Ring tournament.
Like, oh, Nikki Ash is the problem.
That's true. I appreciate that.
Which is, yeah, it was actually that match, despite being like one of those, like, okay, let's separate out all the tag teams and do every possible permutation. Despite it being that, like, this one actually did have a purpose, and it was to have Nikki Ash not be at ringside and show like, oh, I don't know, maybe you should reevaluate that, Rhea.
So does this tag team split up, or do they get back on track? Because you split everyone else.
I think that tag team wasn't much of a tag team anyway. So I don't care. Whatever they want to do with it, go for it.
Speaking of going for it, let's talk about Liv and Becky's little segment. Not Liv's best work.
Nobody's best work, really. Like that.
It's true.
I appreciate them again trying to do something, not like a nice little video package. And I guess Becky and Seth have a gym. That person who was very obviously not Becky, Liv's real dumb, I think, is what I took away from most of this. Like, and that both people are crazy in this. Like, that didn't make Liv look cool or like smart or anything other than just like, oh, you're just kind of a dumb nut. Like,
I think they gave her stupid babyface syndrome. I think so for Liv. But also it didn't help that Liv started talking shit about everything else that was going on, you know, talking about beating everyone down and using kendo sticks. And like, I didn't enjoy the way she came off. She came off as a bit whiny herself.
Yeah, all while delivering it with the gusto of like straw scarecrow. Like, like her delivery was so robotic. Like, I don't understand. She talks very strange. Yeah. I don't know what's up with that.
Well, on the Discord, you were like, "Where's she from?" And
I was like, "Is that an accent? Why does she talk like a weird muted robot?"
Right. I'm like, Liv's from Jersey, and you're like, that doesn't explain anything. I'm like, well, she probably saw a lot of dialect coaches. She's trying, but man, it was just not her best promo. She's had better, but Monday night was not it. No. Not for her, at least. Let's move on to the main event, and then we'll talk about Vince McMahon and all that and get out of here. Very quick, KO, Seth Rollins, Lashley, Big E. Match was good. They just they went to a bunch of breaks, which was weird. But on top of that, Lashley gets the win, which is good. They're building him up again for Big E to pin him at day one and look like a credible champion.
Are they turning Lashley face?
I think they are.
Yeah. That's what they're doing here because they're but sadly, it looks like the way they're going to do that is by separating him from MVP.
I don't want that.
I don't either, but that's clearly where they're going. So
I don't want that at all.
They could do it without that. Like maybe it's just going to lead to Lashley having a frank conversation with MVP about the direction of their company.
The Hurt business. That's right.
Exactly.
The Hurt business is now the friendship business.
Okay.
Well, they're going to make new t-shirts.
No, it's the shirt business then. There you go.
That's right. The shirt business. But it's SHURT.
Sure. I mean, it's easier to get better. There's better SEO on that. So
there you go. They're gonna take it. They're gonna take an S and just like draw it on the shirts, and that's where they sell them. Get your shirt business T-shirts here.
Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander be like, well, at least we're on TV again.
Yeah, why not? That's fine by me. So someone had said that there was like a weird finish to the match, that maybe there was a cue that was missed. Did you catch this at all?
It just happened kind of suddenly.
Yeah.
I had to go back and watch it. Like Bobby Lashley, like I think he speared one of them, KO maybe.
Yeah, he speared KO, got the 3 count.
Yeah. So, and then they stomped his head.
Yeah, and all just led to that, and then that's why I was just like, I don't think anyone missed a beat. I just think that they just had a sudden finish.
They didn't build it as
the
camera, the production choices on which cameras you were looking at didn't give it the rising action that you would expect before the finish.
Yeah, exactly. And all in all, again, inoffensive Raw. I didn't hate it. I actually felt that the 3 hours didn't drag like it has before.
I liked the through thread with Lashley in the main event and everything. Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins are tremendous together. Like very, very fun. Backstage with MVP was interesting. Like I said, I think they're actually transitioning to Bobby Lashley face after all those packages. It's weird that they ran all the packages, stopped running the packages, had him come back and be a bastard. But now we're going to
he's got a heart of gold. Bastard with a heart of gold.
Yeah, just he's a hardworking young man.
So that's Raw, but let's talk about real quick. There was the segment with Vince McMahon and Austin Theory. So
first of all, incomprehensible. I had no idea what was going on. He blew eraser dust at him at one point, but I don't.
I guess the theory here, no pun intended, is that the eraser, he is erasing the loss that Austin Theory just suffered.
Was that what that was? Maybe. I thought it was him. I thought it was him showing how quickly he could erase Austin Theory himself.
There you go. This is
because he's done it before.
It's very much up to interpretation, and I'm willing to sit here and break down this absurdity only because like it's fun. And I clearly know that whatever I say has absolutely no bearing on what they will do. So again, this is all leading to Austin Theory versus Shane McMahon. So let's just get this back on track. I don't care, first of all.
No,
but
not really, at all. Like,
go ahead.
There's a lengthy through thread with Vince McMahon being on TV again that began back when he came out with the first, like the WrestleMania with fans, like, where the hell were you? And like,
still love
that. Things have changed.
Yes.
And this is who you are now. And welcome back to TV. But I guess that stuff's not changing.
So on Raw, we have Mr. McMahon. This is by the way, there is a difference between Mr. McMahon
character
and Vince McMahon.
Absolutely. And he's playing the same character he played for like, a few decades.
Years. Yeah. So he says, I enjoy firing people, especially around the holidays. I can't do it. My voice hurts. Says he enjoys firing people, especially around the holidays. Mr. McMahon said it gives him a warm feeling like he just had a nice meal and that he would get Austin Theory another chance.
That's what he said. Okay. I got bits and pieces. I got the firing thing on like a rewatch.
Yeah. So obviously that didn't sit well, that line, with a lot of people, especially after, the mass releases for the last 2 years.
80, I think it was.
That's however many it's been. I know some people are keeping track, and that's fine.
Yeah, everyone's posting stuff.
Exactly.
People got real upset about him saying this stuff, which is very not surprising in any way. Like
I think he very much knew what he was doing when he said it. I think it goes back to the quarter conference call when he said, maybe I should fire some more people to give to AEW. The problem is
he doesn't care.
Vince and Mr. McMahon are starting to work each other. They're
That's the
starting to
thing.
be
Like
the same guy.
he's saying that because he thinks that the character that he is on TV gives him license to say that. But like, he thinks that he doesn't really believe that, but I don't, like, he absolutely does, because he's a piece of shit, because he's a billionaire, and you have to be a piece of shit to be a billionaire, because it requires a whole lot of cognitive dissonance to allow yourself to be that big of a scumbag. And anyway, but like that's what it is. Like, he thinks that the character that he's created gives him license to say stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
And it does. It does. I don't care. Like, it's on brand. It's not surprising. Oh, wow. Big headline. Piece of shit is piece of shit.
Yeah. All billionaires, all rich people effing suck.
Yes.
That is the reality. And that's been the Mr. McMahon character forever. Unfortunately, Vince McMahon has taken his own medicine and has become his own character. So as a result, there's some news that came out this past week via Fightful Select about Kevin Owens' contract. It does not have a no-cut clause, which many people had speculated it would. Many people speculated it would not, correctly so. And some people were saying he should get it. But in reality, why would you cut that guy? And they say, "Oh, look at Bray Wyatt." Well, Wyatt was a completely different boat.
Wyatt wasn't really on TV either at the time, so
yeah, it was two very different people, two very different characters with different expectations of how they were being operated in the grand scheme of things. So Vince did not do there is no no-cut clause on KO's contract. However, Vince said something along the line of the belief is that he is adamantly against no-cut clauses.
Yeah, which is
understandable.
Fine. Like, that's fine. Again, like, who cares? You'd still sign that deal because every step along the way is a hell of a lot of money. So like, Kevin Owens, not being an absurdly rich scumbag, just recognizes, like, I'll just keep getting the bag while I can. Like,
yeah, I agree. I think there's just a lot of immediate outrage because people think back to releases and saying so-and-so should have a no-cut contract. But some of these people just, if it doesn't work, some of these releases are justified. I'm sorry if your favorite wrestler or one that you were looking forward to got cut. Some of them are justified. It's just, again, that's a billionaire making billionaire decisions, and it sucks. But having a no-cut contract when your investment is not, there's no return on it, then doesn't work.
Here's the thing. Knowing how WWE has treated its wrestlers, especially even top guys like this, like, Kevin Owens may not be a total moron and just not live as if he's guaranteed that money. Like, it's funny because you see these people with all these, like, these big contracts, and if you live like you're absolutely going to make $2 million, then, like, yeah, you're screwing yourself. But if you live like a normal person and you save a lot of money, and you're ready for the potential that you're going to get released at some point and maybe not get all of that money, and who cares? You're nothing but golden. So I don't know. It's just, let's take into account maybe the fact that Kevin Owens might not be a moron.
I would like to take that into account.
Having learned from many, 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 many wrestlers who have made the same mistakes. Like, the same thing happened in the NFL. Like, every guy who has any sense now goes in and gets a money manager right away. Because, like, no one wants to stand up like Ric Flair.
Good point. Yeah, I think you nailed it on the head. We can't tell you how billionaires think. We can tell you they suck, but we can't tell you that the contracts don't pay out, because they do.
Yeah, but that's a big fat contract he got. So
exactly, and most of these people get their big fat contracts by giving us a thumbs up. That's right. You're all plants now. You're all co-opted. Leave us a comment here on this video and subscribe to our Tim and Joel Pod YouTube channel. We're going to work on some stuff for next year. And our Discord is open. There's a link in the video description. Tim, let's go home. Where can the kids find you on the internet?
Oh, they can find me at Timstone, PTIMBSTONEP on Twitter.
And the show is timandjoelpod.com. I am Joel Pearl at Joel Pearl, JOELPEARL. We're back on Sunday, Boxing Day for UK and Canadian fans. Right? We're back on. Are we back on Sunday? Yeah. We're good? You good?
Yeah, probably can be.
Okay, wonderful.
I think we're good.
Back on Sunday, noon Eastern. 9 a.m. Pacific and 5 p.m. in the GMT in the UK. Ladies, gentlemen, friends beyond the binary, we'll see you on Sunday for some more wrestling talk. See you soon.